Welcome back. The political news in full. On his social media account, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said he followed up with great concern the heinous assassination attempt which targeted former American President Donald Trump, stressing Egypt's full condemnation on the event. The head of state wished the American presidential candidate's speedy recovery and expressed hope that the U.S. election campaign will resume in a peaceful way, far from any form of terror or violence or hatred. Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump was shot in the ear during a campaign rally on Saturday after a major lapse in an attack that will likely reshape this year's presidential race. More details.
Donald Trump was shot in the ear in an attempted assassination during a campaign rally on Saturday, an attack that will likely reshape this year's presidential race while raising sharp questions about security provided to the Republican candidate. The FBI identified 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as the subject involved in what it termed an attempted assassination. He was a registered Republican. Earlier, the Secret Service said the suspect was shot dead by agents. One person who attended at the rally was killed and 2 other spectators were critically wounded. The attack was the first shooting of a U.S. president or major party candidate since the 1981 attempted assassination of Republican President Ronald Reagan. It raised immediate questions about security failures by the Secret Service, which provides former presidents, including Trump, with lifetime protection. The shooting occurred less than 4 months before the November 5 election. Trump faces an election rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden.
World leaders reacted with shock to the wounding of Donald Trump in an assassination attempt against the former U.S. president at an election rally.
World leaders reacted with shock to the wounding of Donald Trump in an assassination attempt against the former U.S. president at an election rally. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said she was deeply shocked by the attack. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz called the shooting despicable and said such acts of violence threaten democracy. In neighboring France, President Emmanuel Macron called the assassination a tragedy for our democracies. Russia called on the U.S. to take stock of its policies of incitement to hatred while using the assassination attempt to denounce Washington's military support for Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was appalled to learn about the shooting and wished Trump a speedy recovery. Argentina's President Javier Milei blamed the international left after the assassination attempt. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva said the shooting must be strongly condemned by all defenders of democracy and political dialogue. Also, China's Xi Jinping expressed his compassion and sympathy for Trump, with a foreign ministry spokesman saying Beijing was closely following the incident. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was deeply concerned by the attack on his friend. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida also spoke out against political attacks, saying, quote, "We must stand firm against any form of violence that challenges democracy," end quote.
Prime Minister Madbouli said Egypt and Serbia share significant cooperation and strategic partnership ties. He was speaking before the Egyptian-Serbian Business Forum he jointly presided over with Serbian President Alexander Vučić in Cairo on Sunday. Madbouli said the forum will open new cooperation opportunities between Egypt and Serbia, adding that there is a joint commitment to boost bilateral ties in all fields. He said the forum is the first step toward boosting ties between the Egyptian and Serbian business communities. For his part, the Serbian president said Serbia and Egypt enjoy distinguished friendship and we look forward to concerning it. Vučić said the new administrative capital is proof that the dreams can be achieved. He said flights between Egypt and Serbia will resume within weeks. Vučić said a new era of relations between Egypt and Serbia will start in the coming phase and that both sides are working on increasing trade exchange rates. At least 17 Palestinians were killed and 50 were wounded in Israeli occupation strikes on Gaza City in the early hours of Sunday morning. The fatalities resulted from at least 4 separate Israeli airstrikes on 4 houses in different areas of the city. Residents and Palestinian health officials said the Israeli occupation military had stepped up aerial and ground shelling. A Hamas official on Sunday